There are 10 things in Japan that need to exist everywhere. And before you think this is another video about robots or vending machines that sell weird snacks, it's not. These are real things that already exist in Japan right now. Some solve problems most countries just accept. Some quietly support people in ways no one else even thinks about. And some are so simple you'll wonder why the rest of the world never bothered. What makes Japan different isn't just technology. It's how much thought goes into everyday life. How people feel, how cities work, and how small systems can make life less stressful, safer, and honestly, just better. By the end of this list, at least one of these will make you say, why doesn't every country do this? Let's get into it. Number 1. Japanese hotels that offer crying rooms for women. In Japan, there are hotels that quietly offer rooms designed for one simple purpose: giving women a private place to cry without judgment, pressure, or embarrassment. One of the best-known examples is Mitsui Garden Hotel Ueno in Tokyo. At different times, the hotel has offered what's often called a healing or crying stay. It wasn't advertised as therapy or anything dramatic. It was treated as a normal hotel option for people who were emotionally worn out and needed space. The rooms were set up to feel calm and contained. Thick walls, soft lighting. Movies chosen specifically because they help people release emotions. Even simple things like high-quality tissues and skincare were included. Not as a gimmick, but because they understood what someone in that moment might need. What makes this even more interesting is the price. The stay cost roughly 10 to 13,000 yen per night, depending on the room and season, which works out to about 65 to 90 US dollars. That's about the same as a standard mid-range hotel in Tokyo. There was no luxury markup. No wellness premium, just a quiet acknowledgement that emotional exhaustion is a real thing. In many countries, crying is something you're expected to hide or apologize for. In Japan, the thinking is different. Emotions don't disappear just because you ignore them. So instead of pretending people don't struggle, they created a respectful, private space where dealing with those feelings is allowed. And once you hear about something like this, it's hard not to ask the obvious question: why isn't this normal everywhere? Number 2. In Japan, gift wrapping is treated like a moral act. In Japan, how a gift is wrapped matters almost as much as the gift itself, sometimes more. The wrapping isn't just decoration, it's a signal. It shows how much care you put into the moment, how much respect you have for the person receiving it, and how seriously you take the exchange. A poorly wrapped gift doesn't come across as casual or rushed. It can feel disrespectful, even if what's inside is expensive. That's why gift wrapping in Japan is precise, calm, and deliberate. The paper is folded cleanly. The corners are sharp. The tape is hidden. Everything is done so the person opening it feels considered, not rushed or awkward. What's interesting is that this mindset extends far beyond birthdays or holidays. Gifts are exchanged for apologies, thank yous, work milestones, visits, and even small favors. And every time, the wrapping carries meaning. It says, I thought about this. I took my time. You matter. In many countries, we focus almost entirely on what's inside the box. In Japan, the outside is part of the message. It's the first impression of intent. Sloppy wrapping can suggest carelessness. Thoughtful wrapping shows respect before a single word is spoken. It's such a simple idea, but once you notice it, it changes how you think about giving things to other people. The effort isn't just about money. It's about attention, and that's why this is something that really should exist everywhere. Not the paper itself, but the mindset behind it. Number 3. Ceramic sake cups that change color. In Japan, there are traditional ceramic sake cups that quietly change color as the drink inside warms up or cools down. At first glance, they look completely ordinary. Simple glaze, traditional shape, nothing flashy. But as soon as warm sake is poured in, the design begins to shift. Patterns appear. Colors deepen. Sometimes an image slowly reveals itself, almost like the cup is reacting to the moment. This isn't done for novelty, it's done for awareness. Sake is meant to be enjoyed at specific temperatures depending on the type. Too cold and you lose aroma, too hot and you lose balance. Instead of checking a thermometer or guessing, the cup itself gives you feedback. It tells you without words when the temperature is right. What this really shows is how much thought Japan puts into small experiences. The cup isn't just a container. It's part of the ritual. It slows you down. It makes you pay attention. It turns something ordinary into something intentional. In most places, we drink without thinking much about the vessel. In Japan, even the cup participates. It's such a subtle idea, but once you see it, you realize how often we separate function from experience. Japan doesn't. It blends them, and that's why something as small as a color-changing sake cup ends up feeling meaningful, and why it's another thing that honestly should exist everywhere. Before we continue, if you enjoy learning about the quieter, more thoughtful things that make Japan different, you'll probably want to subscribe. There are some really good ones coming up in this list, and this channel is all about the real side of Japan that most people never get to see. Number 4. Vending machines that could save your life. In Japan, some vending machines are designed to completely change how they work during a disaster. Under normal conditions, they operate like any other vending machine. You put money in, choose a drink, and move on. But when an earthquake or major emergency hits, these machines can switch modes once they're activated by authorities. Instead of locking down or becoming useless, they begin giving out free water or drinks to people nearby. What's important here is that this isn't random. These machines are part of Japan's disaster planning. They're often placed in schools, train stations, public buildings, and evacuation areas, places where people are most likely to gather when something goes wrong. Japan knows disasters will happen. Earthquakes aren't a maybe. They're a certainty. So instead of relying only on emergency trucks or temporary aid stations, they quietly build help into everyday infrastructure. A vending machine becomes more than convenience. It becomes a backup lifeline. In many countries, vending machines are the first thing to become useless during an emergency. In Japan, they're designed for the exact moment they're needed most. It's one of those ideas that feels obvious once you hear it. And it makes you wonder why emergency planning everywhere else still treats disasters as rare events instead of guaranteed ones. Number 5. Turtle jelly desserts. In Japan, there are jelly desserts shaped to look exactly like tiny turtles. They're made with a very dark, glossy jelly that's almost black in color, with detailed shells, little heads, and flippers molded into the shape. When they're placed on a plate, they look more like small ornaments than food. And the moment they're touched or moved, they wobble and jiggle in that soft, bouncy way only jelly does. That's part of the charm. They're undeniably cute. Not loud or cartoonish, but quietly adorable. The gentle bounce, the smooth surface, the careful detail. It's the kind of thing people stop to watch for a second before eating. You'll usually find them in specialty sweet shops or seasonal displays where presentation matters just as much as flavor. The texture is delicate and springy, and the experience of eating them is meant to be light and fun, not heavy or indulgent. In many countries, desserts are designed to look rich or dramatic. In Japan, something small, playful, and restrained like this is considered beautiful. It's not about excess. It's about enjoyment. Turtles also carry meaning in Japan. They're often associated with longevity and good fortune. So shaping a dessert this way isn't random. It turns a simple jelly into something that feels thoughtful and positive. Most places wouldn't bother putting this much care into something so temporary. In Japan, that care is the point, and that's why turtle jelly desserts feel so uniquely Japanese. Cute, calm, and carefully considered, even if they only last a few bites. Number 6. Edible coffee cups. In Japan, you can buy coffee cups that are meant to be eaten after you finish your drink. At first, it feels strange to even hold one. It looks like a normal cup. It feels solid in your hand, and it does its job properly. The coffee stays hot. The cup doesn't leak. Nothing feels flimsy or rushed. Then, when you're done drinking, the cup becomes part of the experience. The cup itself is usually made from a biscuit-like material. It's firm enough to hold its shape, but easy to bite into. Some are lightly sweet, some more neutral, and some are designed to pair with the flavor of the coffee instead of overpowering it. What makes this interesting isn't just that it's edible, it's that it quietly solves multiple problems at once. There's no cup to throw away, no lid to bin, no mess left behind. You finish your coffee and that's it. In many countries, disposable cups are treated as unavoidable waste. In Japan, the question is different. Why create trash if you don't have to? It's such a simple idea, but it changes how you think about everyday habits. The cup isn't just packaging, it's part of the product, part of the moment. And once you see something like this, it's hard not to wonder why the rest of the world is still throwing cups away when eating them. Would make more sense. Number 7. Staplers that don't use staples. In Japan, there are staplers that bind paper together without using a single metal staple. At first, it feels like a trick. You press down, hear a soft click, and expect nothing to happen. But when you lift the stapler, the pages are neatly locked together. Instead of piercing the paper with metal, the stapler cuts and folds the paper in a precise way so the pages hook into each other. Nothing extra is added. There's nothing sharp, and when you're done, the pages sit flat and clean. This is one of those ideas that feels obvious once you see it. There are no loose staples, no rust, no risk of sharp edges. And when the paper is recycled, there's nothing to remove first. In many places, this kind of tool would be treated as a novelty. In Japan, it's treated as a practical upgrade. Something small that quietly improves how an everyday task works. It also reflects a broader mindset. Instead of asking how to add more, the question is how to simplify, how to remove waste, how to make something safer and cleaner without making it complicated. It's not flashy, it's not dramatic, it's just better. And that's exactly why a stapler without staples feels like something the rest of the world should have adopted a long time ago. Number 8. Machines that wrap your shoes for rainy days. In Japan, there are machines you can step up to that automatically wrap the bottoms of your shoes in a thin plastic cover. You place your foot into the opening, press down, and the machine stretches a clear plastic film tightly around the sole of your shoe. The top of your shoe stays exposed, but the part that touches the ground is sealed and protected. It takes a few seconds. There's no bending down, no pulling anything on by hand. You just step in, step out, and walk away. These machines are often found near building entrances, offices, hospitals, and public facilities on rainy days. The goal isn't fashion or convenience for its own sake. It's about cleanliness. Wet, muddy soles don't get tracked indoors, and your shoes don't end up soaked underneath. In many countries, rain just means mess. Wet floors, slippery tiles, someone mopping constantly. In Japan, the thinking is more preventative. Stop the problem before it enters the building. It's such a small system, but it changes the entire experience of a rainy day. You stay dry, the space stays clean, and nobody has to deal with the aftermath. And once you see something like this in action, it's hard not to think, this should already exist everywhere. Number 9. Cake in a can from vending machines. In Japan, you can walk up to a vending machine and buy a can of cake. You press the button, the can drops down, and inside is a layered dessert with sponge cake, cream, and sometimes fruit, stacked neatly from bottom to top. It feels strange at first because vending machines usually mean drinks, not something soft and delicate like cake, but the can makes it work. It protects the cake, keeps it fresh, and lets it survive inside a machine without getting crushed. You can carry it around, take it on a train, or eat it later without worrying about it falling apart. What's interesting is how ordinary this feels once you see it. In Japan, vending machines don't just sell convenience, they solve problems. If people want dessert on the go, the system adapts. In many countries, cake is something you have to sit down for or carefully transport in a box. In Japan, it's something you can buy between stops. It's not about being flashy or strange. It's about making something fragile fit into everyday life. And once you realize cake can come from a vending machine and still be good, it's hard not to wonder why this idea never spread everywhere else. Number 10. The Hello Kitty train. In Japan, there are full-sized trains themed entirely around Hello Kitty. Not a sticker on the side, not a one-off promotion, an entire working train inside and out, designed around the character. The outside is instantly recognizable, but the inside is where it really leans in. The seats, walls, signage, and even the announcements follow the theme. Some cars are designed just for photos. Some focus on local regions along the route, and others are simply made to feel cheerful and calm. What's interesting is that this isn't aimed only at kids. Adults ride it. Commuters use it. Tourists plan trips around it. In Japan, there's no idea that liking something cute has an age limit. The train still does its job. It runs on schedule. It gets people where they need to go. The difference is that the experience itself feels lighter. In many countries, public transport is treated as something purely functional. In Japan, it's allowed to have personality, to be enjoyable, to make people smile on an otherwise ordinary journey. Ending the list with this feels right because it sums up everything before it. Japan doesn't just ask, does this work? It asks, how does this make people feel? And once you see a fully themed Hello Kitty train carrying real passengers through everyday life, it's hard not to think maybe the world could use a little more of that.